That's that feeling. And that's the problem. The problem is the feeling that the game has created to make you think that there's a chance for you to win. Maybe there is. Maybe the odds are against you. Who knows? However, by participating in this game, you're asking to go through this emotional roller coaster. Welcome to my YouTube page. If you're new here, my name is Tony Rocket. Please feel free to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, stay up to date with all the cool stuff that I like to talk about. Typically, all things positive, motivational stuff, human behavior stuff, and things that just kind of open our eyes to the ways of the world. For those of you who are return peeps, I love you. So glad to have you. And for anybody and everybody who's watching this, make sure to throw some stuff in the comments so we can go back and forth with these conversations and really get to know each other a little bit. So today's point of conversation is loving your problems. And this goes for all of us. Everybody has a vice, right? We've heard that before. Sometimes our vices come in the many. Some are few and far in between, but we all got them. And today what I really want to talk about is why I say that people love their problems. What is it about our problems that we love? One could argue that it's the excitement or the feelings that we get from attempting something that we probably know that we shouldn't do. Maybe we've lived a certain level of success within that habit, and when we feel that feeling, we want to come back to it to relive that feeling. Sometimes we're trained that way or we're groomed that way, and it becomes some of those feelings that we know and feel that we're going to elicit a certain response when we partake in that behavior, right? For example, if you're in a super toxic, abusive relationship, and you do something crazy and you guys get in a fight, and then that person slaps you, and then the next thing you know, you're hugging and cuddling up. Maybe you changed your behavior because you got slapped, so now you're looking for that spark and that energy or that excitement. Good, bad, or indifferent, it doesn't matter. It's triggers, right? We don't necessarily always know or are always aware of these triggers. We just are aware of the feeling that we get as a response to what it is that we're looking for afterwards. And we have to be really careful with that. It's tough because that's kind of how we learn. I like to talk a lot about our learning styles, right? We go through things, something good happens, and our pleasure sensors go off. Because of that reward of that feeling, we try to uh, 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 re re
Today, Junior.
we try to emulate that same response to get that feeling or relive that feeling over and over and over to excite our pleasure sensors. So to keep things simple and to make it make sense, put it this way. If I put a button on this desk, and every time I press there's a red one and a blue one, and I press the red one and money comes out, then I'm going to get excited. And if I press the blue one, then the money disappears, and now I'm going to be like,
Oh no.
there's the catch. They switch. So I have to find the amount of time in between each switch to properly hit the blue button to get the money, because if I hit the red one, it's going to take my money, like a casino, right? Let's say I win 3-4 times, and I get this feeling of, oh man, I'm getting rich, I'm making money, I'm doing these things. And then suddenly the timer goes faster. So now I'm hitting the red more frequently. And now I feel this almost like a anxiety to play the game, but I know that I can win. I know that I can get it back. That's that feeling. And that's the problem. The problem is the feeling that the game has created to make you think that there's a chance for you to win. Maybe there is. Maybe the odds are against you. Who knows? However, by participating in this game, you're asking to go through this emotional roller coaster. So in life, you have to be aware of some of the things that you're choosing to involve yourself in, and whether or not those behaviors or activities are worth the game that's being played, right? Do you really want to feel a certain way? Do you want to relive a certain feeling over and over? Is the risk worth the reward? And if it is, then cool. That's on you, and that's your game, right? But if you keep feeling that feeling of pain over and over and over again to relive a temporary feeling of pleasure, then you really have to ask yourself, why are you playing this game and what do you expect to get from it? In that game, we have to understand that a lot of times it involves other people. And that's where we really have to be careful, because I think one of the most important things that I've learned in my life is that we don't change people. You can't change people. It's impossible. People change when they're ready to change, when they want to change, and when they desire or have a definite need to change. Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter what the change is, right? If let's say you're sitting at home and you're bored and you say, you know what, I want to be this, then you just have that feeling that you wanted to be whatever it is you wanted to be, and then you'll go do those things to lead you to be what you want to be. If you eat like crap and all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm a diabetic, now you have to change, and you have to change your diet. You've been forced into change. So we spoke about that a little bit in the last video, where I discussed how uh, it all started with you, and you were the key element to your life story, um, of how people desire either change because of desire or pain, and that's kind of the point that I'm putting out there. So if you're trying to force somebody to be a certain way, just know that you're going to have failing results. A lot of women like to try and take care of people. They're nurturers. Women are nurturers, naturally. um, so a lot of times they'll find a man that they feel they can take care of, and by taking care of him, they're trying to spark some sort of change in that man. And the man, just like any other human being, will sense over time a sense of a risk and reward of how far he can push it to get what it is he wants, and that sense of being taken care of. And the whole time, uh, not necessarily feeling like he has to change or be anything different, the woman's going to continue to take care of this person until she's either burnt out or until they're old and gray and the relationship is rotted out, right? So we have to really be careful of how we deal with other people. The best possible thing that anyone and everyone can do in any instance is improve upon themselves. When you improve upon yourselves, the outside circumstances will tend to improve themselves, therefore giving you a better quality of life, right? This is the law of correspondence. Like I said in my previous video, I talk a lot about Hermeticism. The law of correspondence is as most of us have probably heard, as within, so without, right? As above, so below. So when you work on the internal you, the external you reflects. Therefore, the world within will show itself to the world without, and vice versa, right? That's why physical exercise is important. That's why mental stimulation is important, and health is important, because if you want a healthy world and a healthy environment, it starts with changing what's inside of you first. And a lot of us have toxic traits. Trust me, I've been down that road. I had a lot of them. I've done some things in my life that made me realize that if I kept doing them, I would either end up in jail or in a grave. I put myself in situations that I knew I could have avoided, but I wanted the immediate gratification at the time, i.e., drinking and driving. I do not condone drinking and driving. Is the stupidest thing. One of the stupid. There's a lot of stupid things out there. But if you really want to endanger somebody else and endanger yourself, that's a quick, easy way to do it. And a go to jail free card comes with it, right? So I highly suggest, for my younger audience, don't drink and drive. It's stupid. For my older audience, if you're out of your 20s and you're still doing that, then you have bigger problems than what I'm discussing in this, and you should probably talk to somebody and get some help, or stick around, and I'll just tell you you're messing up. I almost slipped there. So please take take heed to what I'm saying here, and realize that changing other people will be less successful than changing yourself if you want to see results. The beautiful thing about that is, by changing yourself and changing the way you think, you can initiate change in other people unknowingly. It's almost like a positive form of manipulation. And the crazier part about it is, those people who want to be in your life will change in accordance with the change of your behavior, attitudes, and energy. Those people who don't belong in your life will see their way out. Some people think it's out of sight, out of mind, but the truth is that it's out of mind, out of sight. And as a correction, the people that are supposed to be in your life will find their way into your life mysteriously, by the workings of the one upstairs, right? So keep that in mind. Let that sink in for a moment. you're getting in your own way a lot of times, and you know it and you feel it and you see it and you go through it on a daily basis. And it's crazy because it's kind of like, excuse me, it's kind of like you have that angel on one shoulder and the on your little devil demon on the other shoulder. And a lot of times this one seems to be louder. You know when you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, and it's so crazy because this one doesn't always seem bad. It seems like a shortcut. It's like,
You know you can do this. You know you've done this before. Why would this be any different? You can handle that. You can do this. Don't worry about it. Who's going to know?
right? And it's all those little things that eat away at your integrity. It eats away at your better judgment. It just eats away at your character. And our character is by far the most important aspect of who we are in relation to the way that the world understands us as a person, right? So we can do all the fun things like, get dressed and wear suits and carry ourselves a certain way and work out and eat and pray and go to church or whatever it is you do. Nobody cares about that. What people care about is the character. How do you treat people? How do you respond to situations? How are you acting when nobody is watching you? What are the things in your life that you value? How do your kids see you? How do your parents see you? How do your friends see you? Right? That's your character. And we're all in this big, movie of life. And you get to play the role of the hero, the villain, the neutral guy, whatever it is you want to be that, but be good at it, right? And really put out the best energy for the best results. You have to think at a higher level sometimes, right? When we get stuck in this feeling of feeling lost or not having answers, sometimes we get stuck in a feeling of, just it's almost like what's the word I'm looking for? Like a plateau, like we're just stagnant. That's the word I was looking for. We're feeling stagnant, right? Like what's next or what do we do? That's when that old thought cycle will come back, because the new thoughts, the new things that you should be doing or energies that you should be putting out there, attitude you should be having towards things is hard because it's different for you. And if it's different, it's uncomfortable. And if it's uncomfortable, you typically don't want to do it, right? But that's where growth comes in, because what's going to happen is you're going to go back to what you know. You're going to, as I usually say, you're going to bang your head on the wall. You're going to have the same problems, thinking that, because you did something a little different in the same process, is that you're going to get a different results. That's insanity. It's cliche. I'm not going there. But you have to understand that's what's going to happen. And if you know that's going to happen, then you should probably put yourself in a position to be uncomfortable for a little while. Everybody, let's look at it like this. Everybody has a New Year's resolution, for the most part, not everybody, right? And then let's say it's the gym. And we've heard this example where we'll go to the gym for, let's say, a month or two. February comes around and I'm done with this. I'm tired. I don't feel like going back. Maybe you make it to April, right? And then you just start slacking. You start, and then you just go back to your old habits, and your couple of months, it takes 1/3 of the time to lose the progress you made. So you worked for 6 months, and guess what? In 2 months, you're right back to where you started. And now you have to wait another 6 months in order to reassess your goals and try to shoot for the same set of goals that you could have already had, but now you're getting older, so those goals are becoming more challenging. It's tough, man. It's tough. So you just have to stick it out, and be okay with being uncomfortable, right? Because I don't want to deal with the same set of problems. If I'm dealing with the same set of problems at, you know, 38 years old as I was at 28 years old, then there's no growth in there. If I'm dealing with the same problems at 38 years old as I was at 32 years old, there's not enough growth in there, right? And a lot of times we'll just kind of float through life. A lot of people, we know a lot of people, they just float through life and they have the same problems. Like they never grew up. They never wanted anything for themselves. They never initiated some sort of change in their life, and all that potential just goes to waste. And that's why they say that the best secrets, the best inventions, the best knowledge, and the best stories are all in the graveyard. They're in the graveyard because those people gave up and they never put their best foot forward. And we don't want to be those people. That's why you're here with me today. If you agree, let me know in the chat. Talk to me, right? It goes back to what I was saying before. What are some of your goals? I want to know, right? What are some of your problems? Even better, since we're on the topic of liking your are loving our problems. What problems do you have that you can't seem to get over? Let me know, right? If you're running your head into a wall over and over and you just can't find a new way out of that, then ask somebody, because there's a million people out there who have better answers than me, right? I don't know. I can't see through your eyes or live through your experiences. I only know based on the things that I've been through what I could say. And that's why we need to be a community to be able to talk about these things for the best possible results. So, again, I'm super happy to have you here. If you got anything from this conversation, please let me know. I'm really trying to build a safe space for people to come here and just chop it up and let me know how they feel about whatever it is they're going through. And I want to share some of the things of my life that I've gone through with you guys, so we can go back and forth and really build, like I said, a community of people who are okay with letting some of these things out into the world, right? Release your problems, let the good stuff come in, and let's make each other better. So, in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy the short stuff that I put out there in between these. I'm going to try to get 2 out for you each week. I will do my best. At very least, I will have 1 out for you each week, but I'm shooting for 2. We're still young in this thing, so bear with me. Just keep being your best. Be the best version of you every day. 1% is good enough. 1% growth each day is good enough. You will be fine, and you'll have setbacks, but guess what? You'll be fine. Everything's okay. You are okay. You are enough. You are a great, beautiful person. I'm so blessed to have you here with me. I hope everything works out for you this week. Enjoy your weekend. Keep going, because you got this, and I'll see you at the top.